Ladies and gentlemen, as you come with me as we left the office, we're here at another business that was once open when I was the mayor in Riverdale, but I want to show you it's now closed. The Riverdale Food is now closed. This needs to be reopened. We need viable business that is going to bring tax dollars to our community. So, as you can see, what it looks like is bad. This is our 138th corridor. I want you to take a walk with me because we're going to talk about a few projects on 138th that I'd like to see happening. As we walk through Riverdale, we're going to have some other video takes of other business, but right now, come along with me. Here we have our Pace bus that was once open and very active when I was the mayor. It's a now closed business. You used to see nothing but yellow buses all along those gates that operated here in Riverdale and several surrounding communities, now closed. Another economic problem in our community when you have business like this closed that was active for many, many years. Come along with me. With your support and electing me mayor again, we're going to get this business back up and going and thriving. You will probably see way in the distance of the business, you'll see some buses that they weren't able to get out or are probably not operating that's still here on the land. You look back there, way back here, this was Pace bus. You see beyond the gate here. And as you can see, this is Riverdale that we're in. You see our water tower. That water tower I'm very proud of, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a water tower that was rusting out during my first term as mayor. And I had it repainted, redone, and it says Riverdale, a village with a vision. One of the statements that I came up with when I first got in office. What we're looking at again is some of the buses. You can see how the property looks now, signs hanging all over. Those things need to be cleaned up. This is the forgotten side of Riverdale that needs to be redeveloped and bring tax revenue to our community to help the surrounding businesses as well as the homeowners. This has a lot to do with making sure that everyone has a sense of comfort in our community. Obviously, we know from the state of Illinois and the county that taxes are up. But we must do what we can as a community to try and bring those things down so that we can all live somewhat of a comfortable life in our community. And it starts with our homeowner, but it also is our business people in our community because they take the tax burden of all of Riverdale. And then if they're not doing well, then it falls on our shoulders as homeowners. We got to make a change. What we're looking at here is the Masonic Center. I've had some parties over here. I remember coming here and enjoying, partaking in some gatherings about community right here at the Masonic Temple here. This is now an issue in our community. They're not open and functioning the way they should. And so we need to get them back up and going and supporting, programs like this. The Masonic, they do things in the community. They help our young men, our young ladies in our community. We got to get this operating again. These rocks stand for something. These rocks mean together we can do some things. And that's what this is about, bringing Riverdale back together. Now, as we walk further down, this is a big issue. First of all, I need to make it very clear that I am a godly man. I've been brought up in a family who believes in God. Faith is what leads our life, our footsteps in our family. But I want to say this. This is not about the people of the church. This is about the land that the church is on and what happened with this property. So as you can see before us, it's a sign that says the Israel Church of God. And to make it clear once again, this is not about the people of the church believe in God, but it's about how this situation came about here in Riverdale. The land as we walk forward, this land here was a commercial property. 10.8 acres of property, big enough for Walmart, big enough for an Amazon center to sit on this property. I was fighting very hard along with some of my trustees on the board. And then we had trustee Jackson, who was on the board with me as well. He fought against what I wanted to do. This property here, ladies and gentlemen, had to be changed over from commercial property to residential property in order to have a church put on it. Some of you all who lived in Riverdale may remember what I was trying to do with this property. Come along with me. We want to take a look at how big this land is and what it could have done for Riverdale if my idea of bringing in commercial property would have happened here. It would have brought tax revenue in our community at a high level, as well as jobs for people in our community. It is not that now today. Let me just tell you, again, 10.8 or even bigger. I don't know if I have the numbers right, but it's along the rail. So you could have gotten rail support to, drop things off. Trucks were right off the highway. This could have been a major hub for business in our community. Come along. This property we fought for over a year. I fought back and forth, and one of the things I wanted to do with the church is they asked me to get this land because they were trying to purchase it. I made it very clear to them that was not my goal. My goal was to continue to have this be commercial property that could bring tax revenue to our community. Again, Jackson, being a trustee, he led the charge along with a few other trustees to get the votes to change this from being commercial property to residential property so that the church can be built. I lost that fight, ladies and gentlemen, on our behalf. And I truly wish I hadn't, because I know in the years that I've been out of office, we've lost tax revenues. Before this church was built, you need to be clear on one thing, which is verifiable. You can FOIA the information. It's very factual information that you can go over for yourself. That the fight that we had and me trying to keep this property, the individual who took charge and having this property changed over, which was Jackson, to a church, a residential property for the church to be built, I did try to help the church. I tried to get the church to go to different spots in our community, but it was not large enough. I also looked outside of Riverdale to see if I could support them. Again, I'm a man of faith and believe in church, so this is not about them. This is about the land that could have benefited the village of Riverdale for business, other businesses, as well as homeowners. Let's take a walk. I want you to really see the size of this building and how big this land is and what we could have had here if my vision of bringing in a major business here to Riverdale could have made a difference. Now, they said that they were going to bring in some stores, but I need you all to understand one thing. Without nothing on this property with the previous owner of the property, this property had $200,000 worth of tax revenue coming to Riverdale. The minute that vote went through, which the charge was taken by Larry Jackson to turn this over to residential property, we lost the $200,000 that was coming to our community. Today we have zero. I want you to do the math. $200,000 from 2013 to now, which is 8 years, we have not received tax revenue on this land. That is $1.6 million. Come along with me. I mean, again, it's a beautiful church, but we need tax revenue. We need tax revenue to help Riverdale and to help the business owners as well as our homeowners, which is us, which is the most important, the people who live here in our community. This is a large land here, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing we can do about it now. Nothing at all, other than to just continue to try to find other space to build on. But when we get past here, you'll see how much more land this could have been. Again, this could have been a Walmart. This could have been Amazon, right here in Riverdale, which is thousands of jobs in our community. Look how big the land is. Take a look. Now, some of you all may be saying, what is he talking about? If you understand one thing, business makes a community thrive. The more business we can have in a community, the better it is. So we need to, we now have to find other places that we can build on, because this land is gone. We will never receive tax dollars on this property ever again because the church is here. So we're talking about, to date, $1.6 million lost, but let's just think about forever. For the rest of our lives, my life and the cameraman's life is taking the picture, we won't be here. And still no tax dollars will come from this property. It will always be a land that's here, you know, just for the church. So, you know, I do have to work with the church, and, you know, I'll make the best of it, but it still hurts my heart that we weren't able to build a major commercial business here for our community that would have brought tax revenue at a number I can't even count, and also jobs for people in our community right here. And we're gonna go into an area in Riverdale that could have received that support. So I want you to come along with me as we take this walk. So you know, and we're gonna go over into our Pace Center area over here. We're gonna take a look at over here. We're gonna go right into the community, and then I'll share with you what's going on over here. You can see right now from there what's going on. So you see all these abandoned buildings. When I was mayor, these buildings were open. Yeah, we did have some boarded up, but we had plans to go in there to redevelop and make sure that we get these things going. We actually had a portion of it when I was a trustee that we made it historical land, and those buildings were redone and remodeled. Now, we had the same idea for this. Now you see what it looks like. From here, you can see access, and the community is blocked off. You see those blocked off signs? That has been done during the Jackson administration. And let me just say to you, I've had conversations with public safety. That is a hazard for people who live in the community, because for them to get to the home, if there's a fire, a shooting, or anything, it takes more minutes for them to get to save a life. It's like we're gonna go inside of Pace Center and take a look at it, and we'll give you more information once we get inside. There's a long-time resident who's gonna walk with us, and she's gonna share with you some of the things that she feels about Pace Center. So we'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm going to take you on a journey here in Riverdale of what's truly going on. Some of the things that the current administration don't want you to see, you have to see, because it's not a certain side of Riverdale, it's Riverdale. So if all sides of Riverdale are not taken care of, then there's a problem. What we're looking at here is one condemned building in Pace Center. I told you I'm going to bring you over to the Pace Center area. It's right off Halston, 138th, as you can see, condemned. You know, property here in our community that's being condemned. Let's look over this way. All through Riverdale, boarded up, all through Riverdale. Across the street, next to people, where people live, they're living next to abandoned homes, homes that have been burnt out. And these are people, some good people who live on this block. I'm going to introduce you to one of the longtime residents in Riverdale who lives here in Pace Center. Her name is Miss Sims. She's been here since 1984 in our community. And I want to introduce you to her.
Hi, how are you?
This is Mrs. Sims. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. This is Mrs. Sims. She's lived in Riverdale for how long?
1984. That's when I came here, 1984. This was the most beautiful areas that you'd ever want to see. I mean, we had neighbors that bought into it, and they were quite happy. But as you can see, the destruction. We have one area that's halfway decent. We try to work hard to keep our particular block, but we have other areas over here that are just terrible.
And Ms. Sims, if I'm correct, some of the land that we do see vacant those are townhomes as well, but they had to be torn down. They were in such bad shape.
Yes, no, those were a block of 7 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 units.
That was 6 units.
That's what was 6 units, just like this was.
And they tore it down.
And they had to tear them down because they were in deplorable shape. People that owned them, they just walked off and left them, and then basically it just was a disaster. They had to come down because the danger, you know, of abandoned
public safety.
Exactly.
Public safety.
I can't. He said.
I mean, you know, the public safety is a huge issue. It's about abandoned properties bring a lot of things. It brings your squatters. It brings gang members. It brings people who want to do things to the people in our community. We don't even know what's going on in many of these homes right now in Riverdale. So many of them are closed up. We don't know what's inside of them. Am I correct?
No, That's true.
We can't say what's inside of these buildings, but we do know we have squatters in Riverdale who actually squatted in these properties for many years, and so now we need to make sure we clean this up and make it a viable community.
Revitalize it, make it the way, the appearance of it, make it the way it was. You know, it's a shame because they are very nice on the inside. I mean, they're nice first homeowners, you know, young people, and just is upkeep is very easy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's nothing hard on them.
But you know, Ms. Sims, let's let you go a little further. This particular property is right off the main corridor of our community. 130 Halsted is right there, where it should be more viable business, but it's not. We're going to get that. In my administration, we're going to make sure that we rebuild and move forward with some of the previous plans that were on the table to build a very nice strip mall on Halsted as you come down and beautify our community. We're around a golf course in Riverdale. We're around the marina in Riverdale, which we're going to talk about the marina too, because there were many lies and untrue things said about the village of Riverdale as it pertains to the marina and myself, which was done by the current mayor, which is Larry Jackson. He lied on me. It was not facts. It was a lie. And he was a trustee on the board at that time. And I stand here today and I challenge him to stand with me before the people of Riverdale and tell the truth. But in saying that, we want to continue to take this walk. You'll hear more about that as we move forward. But right now, Mrs. Sims, who's been here since 1984, her home is beautiful. She's amongst all of this abandoned buildings, and we need to make it right for herself and others who've been here, not as renters, not as homeowners, as tax-paying homeowners. We need to make a difference. That's why I'm fighting for us. Let's move forward. Mrs. Sims is going to take us to a few places here, and she's going to show us. Okay? We'll be right back. Well, I know my mic is on, so I just want to say, Ms. Sims, I want to thank you for taking us on this journey here that we're doing.
More than welcome.
And just to talk about it while the cameraman is taking pictures. I mean, I remember coming over here when it used to be the drive-in. People used to come from all over. The Halsted Drive-In used to be right next door here. I want to say something about this here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at this park where these swings are, that used to be an in-ground pool, wasn't it?
That's right, an Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have such a big transit.
Okay.
We have in and out, so we might one time have a nice group of kids, and then the next thing we don't have it, and then we got some more. So it's just...
So we're rolling through, but if you go a little slow, we're going to just roll here and let them take a look and see what's going on.
These things, know that we had bad weather and the trees fell. We haven't had those picked up.
Okay.
Those have been there for...
On the other side here, no trees picked up over there?
And we do have neighbors, people that own their home. See how nice at 137, 6113?
Right.
That's a good...
But right next to it, you see it's a condemned property.
But she keeps up the property.
Look at all these abandoned properties. This is Pace Center. This is the area, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand. The forgotten neighborhood of Riverdale. And when you're the leader of the community of Riverdale, you have to take care of all of Riverdale. It's one Riverdale, not an Ivanhoe side, a Riverdale side. This is about the whole, look over here, I want you to take a look at this property. These are ones that came down, but when we go down, I want you to keep the camera over there because I want you to see all the garbage that's out here.
What happened was that when they tore it down, they didn't break up the concrete. And if you notice other lots that there's grass there, but they broke up the concrete. But over here, you could see that they just left it.
But look at this. This is Pace Center, but this is Riverdale, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's being allowed in the area that most of you all don't see. When I was the mayor, Janet, did I not come over?
Yes.
Did I not come over here and clean up? We had community cleanups.
Oh, Most definitely.
We made sure, and most of these were open and people still lived here. And now this, in 8 years, this is what has taken place in 8 years.
Come and dumping everything
It's,
they dump.
it's a dump.
Come from out of other areas to dump. And you can see that it looks like a clean out.
Right.
That somebody was remodeling. You can see drywall, all of that.
Right, but then look on the other side, you got people who live directly across the street and they live next door to this. These are homes that people live in, and you know, they have to live. I would be afraid every single night because of all the vacancy that you see here in the area. You know it's drugs going on, you know, and there's been several shootings in this neighborhood that has taken place. We got people hanging out. That's people's backyards. You got people hanging out. You know, it's just a place that you really, really have to be careful and be as safe as you can if you live over here. But these are the conditions I personally want to change. I want you to go to those bricks straight ahead too, because I'm going to show you how he cut them off. Now his goal was he wanted to cut it off so nobody can get through because of the gang shootings and different things like that. But I want to say this. It is a public safety problem as well, because if a fire breaks out in any of these homes, it's going to take at least 10 to 15 more minutes to get to someone to save their lives. I am not making this information up. It's verifiable. You can speak to any public safety person. They'll tell you having these roads blocked off means that they have to, it's like a little maze. They got to find a way to get around in order to get to people. So by the time they get to a shot victim or a burnt out home where there are people inside of them, who knows? They can be deceased by the time they get to them. I mean, this is not making sense at all. He's putting all these barriers up through the town. You're just supposed to go straight out. Now, if the fire came, they would have been able to come straight down this street and save someone's life. But now you can't get through here because of the barriers he's put up. Now you got to go all the way around, which is at least 3 to 4 more minutes to get out of this maze to save someone's life in this particular area. This would not happen under my administration. If I'd had to have a meeting every day to have these people come together, do block clubs, work together, which we were doing, right, Ms. Sims? We were coming together, working with these people, asking them to help each other do better. And now this is what you see.
And you got decent people that live in Payson. We got young people that have bought the little units, but we got some decent ones. But the problem is,
if you look over there, that's when the historical buildings, when I was a trustee, we redid and had done over there. Those homes were very nice. The same thing that happened there could have happened over here. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing burnt out homes. We're seeing torn up houses. We're seeing some people live in some. We're seeing boarded up. This is a travesty for a community to look like this.
Originally, there were 450 units.
Mm-hmm.
450 units. So definitely, well, I can't tell you how many really is up. And actually, how many original homeowners. I don't think it's more. Maybe it might be about maybe 40, maybe 40 or 50.
Well, these are areas that you wanted to show us and how bad they are, the conditions that they are.
Yes.
No trees cut down. If you're at least going to have them, board them up, cut the trees, come and make sure that this stuff is cut. Make sure that it's cleaned up in here and it's showing us that you're moving in a new direction, not making them look the way that they look. And you can see there's diversity in the community. Yeah. You can see diversity.
They're trying to move in, and but you know, because they are nice units on the inside.
But you know, I want to emphasize to the community again, it's okay to go along 144th and sweep the streets and do everything, but don't forget about the rest of the community. Do not close your eyes to the rest of the community because you only think that one side deserves the attention. Every side in Riverdale deserves attention. Every family counts. Every business owner counts in our community. And that's what I want to do as the mayor of Riverdale, is come back and do what we were doing before, Janice. We want to make sure that everybody feels a part of our community.
And that they're happy.
Because right now, there's nothing to be happy about. You see the borders, you see everything's blocked off. Yeah, you see the nice car coming out of a nice home, but they got to live next door to all of this. It's not right. It is not right. So we want to make a change, and ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing you through. You're taking a walk with us. I believe that you need to see it for yourself. Sometimes people could tell you what they want to tell you, and let you see only certain sides of the town, and that's all they make you focus on. This is Riverdale. This is not any other community. Yes, we do have a nice side in Riverdale. Yes, more attention is given to one side of Riverdale, but this side deserves the attention as well.
Don't cut the grass. Look at that.
And don't cut the grass. But let me just say, just as well as he only take care of the one side of Riverdale, anything can happen. Yeah, he getting it on camera. All of this is on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, this is literally a couple of minutes away from 144th Street. A couple of minutes, 5 minutes, and you're here in Riverdale, and anything can happen. And like I said, we don't know what's going on in any of these abandoned buildings. And it's going to be my job as the mayor to assure that we host a meeting over here and we get to the bottom of everything that's happening. Look at that house. Look at they're throwing garbage in the inside. This is Riverdale. And I know yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead and look. Hold on, you can stay in the car because we got to get back in, and we're gonna roll over to the other spot. But I want him to take a picture of this. Yeah, this is Riverdale, man. This is all of Riverdale. I mean, what's in it? What's in there? People, couches and different things like that. The average Riverdale person on the north side of town, on the south side of town, doesn't know and don't see what's going on. These are condemned buildings, but I want them to see the signs on here. Not only the signs. You see that says Riverdale, Code Officials, Village of Riverdale. This is what's going on. Look at here. What's inside that building? What's inside there? This is what I want people to see. I want you all to see this building. This is another building in Riverdale. What's in here, ladies and gentlemen? We don't know. We know it's roses, but we see a whole bunch of black bags, and we don't know what's in it. We got another place right here, opened up. If you take a look over here, Village, point at this here, let me get the point. You see this here? This is the Village of Riverdale, condemned occupancy. You see what the sign says? Look, it's an open door in the back and an open door in the front. What's in there? But black bags. Yeah, they say people were, looks like some people are gonna try to do some remodeling, but these conditions have been this way for a very long time. And it's been this way for the 8 years that the current administration is in there. We're gonna come over here. Yeah, look at this house next to it. Nothing in the inside. Look at the top. Get a picture of the top up here. And you see the top up here? All of that's open. This is next to the roof. Yeah, I see. The roof is gone on it. I mean, these are the things that I want to make a difference and change. You need to see the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You need to see, I'm not hiding, I'm showing what we have to work on as a community together. If we want a safe community, a better community, where we know that our children won't come up missing, or our wives won't come up missing in areas like this in Riverdale, and it will take so long to even try and find them with all this type of garbage that's out here. We need to make sure all of Riverdale is safe. Public safety is one of the #1 things that we have to do when it comes to our community. And this is what we're looking at under the Jackson administration. Right. We see people still live here. Look at this. This building is next to a home that someone lives. Someone lives right here with flowers, trying to do the best they can to beautify their property. But it's right next to an abandoned building. We got to do better. We have to do better. And under the Dean administration, we will do better. You see this, 2 houses in between here, another abandoned building, living right next door to these people's homes. Look at the beautiful, across the street here, if you turn cameraman and you look over there, you see the beautiful gate around where they try to do something, but they have abandoned buildings right next to one another. Another home that's lived in right here, abandoned building. A home, someone lives there, abandoned property right next to it. This is Riverdale, ladies and gentlemen. And then let me show you, come a little further, and I want to show you something. Then we're gonna take you to some other places and take some more pictures of what's going on that you don't see, that the current administration won't share with you, because they're trying to show you a picture of just a little portion of Riverdale. And if you're going to be a mayor, trustee, or any type of leader in the community, you have to take care of all of the community. Everyone counts. Everyone. Right across the street, again, we talked earlier about the land that could have been Walmart. I'm going to show you this. Get me on this camera here. I want you to show. That across the street could have been Walmart. For the people over here in the buildings that you've just seen, these could have been jobs for those individuals, but that has become now property that we will never receive any tax revenue on, property that we will never have jobs for anyone to have in our community. That's over with. For the rest of our lives, any of us that are living right now, we won't see a Walmart there. We won't see a Walgreens. We won't see a strip mall. That's a strip mall area, a small mall, big enough for a Jewel, big enough for a grocery store in our community. It's no longer there because the Jackson administration has put a church there. Again, we're all God-fearing people, but we need jobs. We need tax revenue. We need revenue that's going to help the businesses in our community. We need revenue that's going to help the homeowners in our community. And we also need jobs. Why do we have to leave our own communities to go to work when that could have been Walmart, that could have been Amazon, and we could have worked right here in our community? For these homes that you just seen in the community, most of these people weren't put out. They had to leave because of the high taxes. They had to leave because they could not pay their bills. And they became vacant properties that are now in decay and must be torn down and rebuilt. Under my administration, we're going to make that happen. So we're still rolling through Pay Center, and we're about to take you down a little further on 138th and take a look at the strip mall before we close out today. And again, you're going on a walk with us so that you can see the community of Riverdale. We have some businesses across the street here that have been here a long time. I actually helped bring in this business across the street, which they do lumber and wood, and that under my administration. Turn left. Yep. We're gonna go down to the little strip mall. This business was brought in when I was the mayor, right there. And we have churches on the corner, but we also have vacant business along 138. This is another business. If you look ahead of us right here where it says pizza, right here on this building, it's closed up. It's boarded all up because they're gone. The taxes put them out. This building here, 138, I redid that building under my administration. It's a senior building now. It's one of the most beautiful businesses on this side of town. We're going to pull up in this little strip mall and we're going to do a real quick take of what's going on inside of it.
Now that vacant lot right there, that used to be a pizzeria. We had a pizzeria.
And it's down now.
And it's gone. The other, we used to have a bowling alley.
And that's gone.
And that's gone.
8 years and nothing has been done to these properties. So we're going to get out and really walk, and I'll just take you for a quick walk when she parks of this area. This is the 138th Street strip mall. Nothing. All the business closed. Jackson talked about not ever wanting a gambling slot machine. He put one on this side of town. And we're going to get out and we're going to show you. We're going to start with this here. This is a laundromat which has been operable for a very long time. So as you go down and you next to the laundromat, this is a strip mall that when I was here, I wanted to have it facelift. I wanted to have all this new and give it a better look for all of the community. You got a closed up business right here. Closed up with C&E. Jackson talked about not wanting to have gambling, but now we got a play slot machine here on the north side of town. But I have an opportunity to meet the owner. She's a good lady. She wants help. She wants support to make sure she's doing the right thing. But I was told that he has not been over here to even, see what's going on with the business. You bring a business in, but don't support it. That doesn't make sense to me.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got a long time resident. I don't have my mask on, so I'm gonna stand back. I was just telling him about Villager Riverdale has no business alone here, and that we need to bring in more business to support. This is a long time resident. Tell him about what you feel about Riverdale.
Yeah, we need to bring some more businesses here.
And what do you feel about the current administration? Have they done in 8 years? What has he done?
The city's going down.
Yes, he's telling you the city's gone down. These are by chance meetings. I'm just running into people, and you guys have been walking with me on what we're doing. This gentleman can tell you, the community has, in 8 years, has gone down. We had more business during my administration trying to bring Riverdale forward. Things have stopped. And this is the forgotten land. I call this the forgotten side of Riverdale that the mayor doesn't even cater to. You know, so we need to make sure that it's one Riverdale. What you think? It's one Riverdale. And that means we need to work together to do what we can. You got anything else you want to say about what I can do when I become the mayor?
I know you're a good man, and I know that you'll take care of it. Whatever needs to be taken care of around here, this is the man.
And I'm asking for your support. We have a resident here who's asking for your support to help me get back in so we can move Riverdale forward. It's all about us. It's about our families. It's about making sure we take care of the business that's already here. And they are the ambassadors of helping us to bring in new business. If you don't help the current business, why would they talk to another business about coming to Riverdale? Am I saying the right thing?
That's right.
You know, so, and also ultimately it's about the residents of community. We're tired of the community. We're tired of being hurt with our taxes. I've been hurt. I've had tax issues. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've gone through what every other resident in Riverdale has experienced. I've experienced it myself. So it's time for a change. 8 years is enough. Is 8 years enough?
Too long.
So we need to make this change. We need your support. We're showing you live footage. This is not something we putting on paper and we want to just share with you and put in your head. So walk with me. Hey, I want to appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't have my mask on. I jumped out the car. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So what we're looking at here is another vacant business. We got a gentleman with his music band, but another vacant business. All along, all these should be open. All of these should have something going on. You see fogged out windows. That's all you see. You don't see nothing else going on with these businesses. You know, so it's a community store, but this community store here is so high. You know, most people who can't get around have to go to stores like this in the community. But the taxes and the price for a loaf of bread will take every dollar you got in the bank to pay for it. We got to change that. So we're going to make that change, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to make that change together, and we're going to make sure that the businesses are doing the right thing in our community to the best of my ability. I'm going to make sure that we talk to them about being fair when they sell the products in our community, that they're not so high for a loaf of bread and eggs, because right now people are hurting, especially now during the corona time that we're in. People are losing jobs every single day. We need to have support in our community, and we need everyone to join in. But we can't ask this business owner who is paying high taxes to, help us if we don't try and help them. So work with me. We're going to get in there. We're going to talk to people on higher levels, state, federal, whatever it takes to say, come to Riverdale and help us get things right so these taxes are not killing us. And we don't want to fine you. Everyone in Riverdale I talk to always talks about the Jackson administration and how they're fining, putting fines on people. We got to stop that as well. We're going to do it together. So this, some of this other land, this used to be buildings here. This is where the bowling alley was. It's now down. Let's keep straight. We're going just down. You can slow down because we're going to see that building up when we get under the bridge. And so what we're doing is what we're looking at. They do have a food mart, but again, all these stores, they price the residents out with, because they know most people who don't have vehicles got to go to these stores, and the prices are just so high. This is another. This used to be an insurance company right here on the corner. Beauty shop closed up. This is 138th corridor. Then I want to take him to the resource center that I had, and we had all the resource information coming out of it. And then we'll go back and get our cars and go to the next location. We're going, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the resource center. This resource center used to have everything going out of there, Miss Sims. But we had everything, didn't we? All type of activities. We work with the townships, Thornton Township, Calumet Township. We work with community organizations that help bring grants in, after-school program. But we're going to park here on the side, and I want to show you when under my administration that was open. Some of you all remember it, and some of you all don't. But we're going to get out the car, and I'm going to take you a walk around this building. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a historical building. As you can see at the top, this was the 19th Riverdale 26 Fire Department. This is a historical building that we could have had. This was here years ago. It could have been a building that we got money for to fix up, and we were fixing it up. I actually did the latter portion of it, and we started work on it when I was the mayor. This building is now closed. This was the Riverdale Community Resource Center. Under Jackson's administration, it has been closed. As you probably could take some pictures inside of here. You can see how it looks, how they just let it go down under his administration. If you look at those pictures in there, a lot of that is poster boards that used to be up when I was the mayor. They just laid them on the table, and they've done nothing with this building. This had all the resource, our tree committee. Thornton Township we connected up with. With the other thing I told you, we connected up with Calumet Township. We had the Austin Community Center youth program here. We had information working with the county, information on how we can help with our taxes. You can come to this building and get anything. It is now closed. These are at the time some of the trustees that helped build the building. This is a historical building. So you can see the names of the individuals, and it actually was done. I don't know if the date is on here. Did they put the date on here? No, I don't see the date, but I'm quite sure it's somewhere. Oh, 1940. This building was constructed in 1940. And so they could have done something that I thought it was the pride and joy of our community. This is the entrance. I used to go in when I was the mayor. And many people in Riverdale remember going into this entrance right here. The 13725 main entrance of the Resource Center. Look at the building now. We were working on this building, trying to do some things. I'm gonna take you this way so you can see what we were doing on this side. They've done nothing with this building other than let it decay, and it'll soon look like those buildings we just left over in Payson. Now this is the north side of town, ladies and gentlemen, that is not being taken care of because he doesn't care. Look at this. You used to be able to walk. We had beautiful. We planted several trees in this community. This was in 2003. This here in this building, you see what this says. We'll just forget about the name, but you see in 2003, this was the Governor's Hometown Award of 2003. This is what the building looks now in 2020 under the Jackson administration, 8 years. This used to be lit up. We had parties out here. We had our seniors out here. We planted trees. We did a lot. This is the resource center, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to bring back when I become mayor again. We're going to open this building back up. We're going to put attention in here. And the same service that we had going, we're going to have even more. Over here, in the back, I want to take you in the back. It now looks like a corn stalk. All of that was opened up. All of it. This was a filled parking lot. We used to have food giveaways and things like that here. We had all type of activities. We used to come here. This was the main building to come to in order to do activities. We planted these trees. You see this beautiful tree? Our tree commission in Riverdale planted that tree. It's no longer, he's disbanded the tree commission. They're no longer. This is the back of the resource center. If you can look in here, we used to have, if you can see the chairs, I'll show you the chairs still there. All the activities we had inside this building is now, this is the way it looks. It had upstairs, downstairs, all of that. You can't get in here because they paid no attention. Someone actually tried to get in the building. You can see somebody broke in and tried to get in, but this is how he let it. Let me tell you what else. That field you see right there was our mini, and we need to come out and we'll take a look at it. This field right here was the mini baseball field for our, what do you call it, the Little League, not the Little League, but you know what's littler than the Pee Wee League. The Pee Wee League baseball field, this is how it looks now. This is how the Pee Wee, with nothing but weed, shrubbery. And let me show you where the diamond was. Right here was the gate to get in to the Pee Wee League. I don't know if you can't even get in now. I don't know if you can go in or you can't get in because the grass it stopped it because it's grown right there. But this is how you used to get in. We had a diamond here for our little Pee-wee league. It was right here, and now it's gone. It's covered up because the grass has grown and shrubberies all over everything. So we just, I see someone there that I think I know from the school district, but we're coming forward. So you had all of this here that used to be done. So yeah, all of this here is your diamond and information here. We had a bike route here coming along the resource center, a bike route that came all the way around. This is what it looks like now. And we had new homes right across the street that we participated with Jim, Channel 7 Jim. I'm forgetting his name and I apologize, but I'm gonna say, Jim, how you doing? Help construct and build across the street there with new homes. This is what they have to look at where they're going down. Look at we got beer bottles. We have, all of this is maintained and well taken care of when I was the mayor. All of this. This is what it looks like now. These are the things, again, that I'm telling you, the current administration is not showing you that you could take a look at and see going on in our in the village of Riverdale. This is Riverdale. Look at this. This is a beautiful, we had nice flowers. All of this was really nice when I was the mayor. Look at it now. Jackson's not showing you any of this information. He's not showing you. Our curves used to be beautifully painted. You can see now that they're no longer painted. We had the accent brick coming around so people can see the accent brick in the community and beautify it. It was on this side as well. As you can see, we had a bed of flowers here. All in here was flowers, beautiful. Bed along, we had the beautiful rocks put in here. All of this no longer, you can't even see that they're there. So when I become mayor again, we're gonna come back, we're gonna redo the resource center. And we're gonna do some more tree planting, and we're gonna make sure, like that big tree there in the middle, that tree there, and there was some trees along the side that we planted with our tree commission. So again, the tree commission has been dismantled under the Jackson administration. It's something we wanna bring back. And ladies and gentlemen, I can show you so much more, and we're gonna take you through some more walks of Riverdale, because it's good side of Riverdale, which is beautiful and maintained all the time, but one Riverdale, that's what I'm working for. One Riverdale. It's the best one. Yeah. There's some stuff over here in the corner. They cleaned it out now, because there used to be a lot of stuff in the corner. But this is what the condition people live in. All this is people living in. We're looking at those abandoned buildings right across the street. It used to be buildings right here, like you said, the units, they tore all those down because, you know, they were literally falling down. It was, hazardous to the community. So this is what people have to live with. We got to change. We got to change all of it.